I'm going to pull up the lobbies of the big tournaments and see who's doing well and see what has been required to do well. And we will talk about maybe a little bit of what I did today. The thing is that when we look at who did well, those are going to be different people and different lineups than when you look at mine, you see, because my lineup did not do well. So that's good because we get to do two different things. If we were just going to look at the people who did well and my lineups, if they were the same things, we'd only get to look at one set of lineups. Now, because we're having two categories, the people who did well and then me, we're going to have two completely different looks. We're going to look at the NBA. We'll take a look at the NHL as well. We'll look at NBA, both DraftKings and FanDuel. And then we will do a live lineup build for PGA, which I actually think is in a very unique setup with respect to the way the slate looks, at least relative to my sheets. And then we'll do a SaberSim build of the PGA lineups. And maybe we'll take a quick look at the showdown slate for tomorrow. That seems to be the plan of attack. I guess the first thing I'm going to do, I'll pull up the DraftKings, the big buy-in here, and the Mega 8. We'll start with my horror show lineup here. So this was my 888, and I don't know, it felt right. That's I stacked the Charlotte guys, Ball and Hayward. They did well enough. And then I ran it back with Kyle Kuzma, who basically smashed. If they didn't get blown out in the fourth quarter, you get the last 4 minutes with all three of these guys. That would have been nice. And PJ Washington, again, I could have used the last 4 minutes. So all this looked pretty good, honestly. And then the snowstorm came. We had Anthony Davis ruled out, so we got Christian Wood starting. And he was good with a crisp 6.5 fantasy points, led by a spectacular 0 actual point performance. Then we had Kelly Olynyk, who looked like an amazing play with Walker Kessler out. And he put on a crisp 11.25 fantasy points. Then we went with some more usage. I imagine should have gone to Austin Reeves at 5,800. I mean, he was good for a stellar 17 and a quarter.
What's up, man?
And then we ended up with Jaden Hawkins at 4,700, and he was good for a crisp 3x. So this was the story of my big buy-in on DraftKings. The stack type plays just smashed, and the value type plays that were kind of spearheaded by the injury news just all busted. And that's just kind of the way it goes.
It's just
I did notice that Bobby cashed, or at least was going to cash, in the bigger buy-in, and you can see like the scores that are needed on this slate is the slate is a complete train wreck.
Can I talk?
So Bob, this lineup score on other slates would not even be remotely competitive, but because of the way the slate fell apart, but this is going to hang on, I think.
Can I talk through it really quickly?
Of note was Rui Hachimura, 2% owned. He was in for some of that blowout run.
You guys hear me?
And he had otherwise he had a pretty good game as well. So this kind of carried this lineup along with Kyle Kuzma as well. So he also had Olynyk.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
And Gafford was a good play who just didn't do anything. And it's one of those really, really just terrible, terrible nights as far as performance goes. And that's just the way it goes. Got Halliburton at 8%. I'd love to.
I'm trying to talk, but can you hear me, Sheets?
Now I can.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to make sure. I was trying to talk through the lineup really quickly.
God.
I couldn't tell if you could hear me because I was trying to ask you questions, but it didn't seem like maybe I cut out or something. I just wanted to like say like why I did what I did because I played 3 888s. One's not even close right now. I overreacted to the Laker news based on this tonight's sample. I still agree with it. I think Austin Reeves, it doesn't have to be Christian Wood, and that's why my best lineup had Rui, because if I needed value, all of a sudden, okay, anything I had where I was waiting for some value to open up, I'll just plug Rui in. And it doesn't mean that he has to have a great night and still not get the minutes he deserved. But you just had to find like, okay, if this doesn't happen, this doesn't happen. But still, you go with mostly chalk. You take a couple low-owned guys. I still think it's how you win tournaments. I felt happy with the process of the lineups. It was one of those just dreadful nights where nothing happened right, and the game stacks weren't the right people, and it was everyone spread out, and it just didn't really work.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of interested to see what the story is with like who did well here. And I was looking at the top of this list here, and this is all you're going to need is like 300 points to win this slate. It looks like
Jordan Hawkins. That's a miss. Like, honestly, I ended up with a higher percentage of Daniel versus the field than Hawkins. You know what I mean? Like, I still ended up with like Hawkins was in my 2 of my 3 big buy-ins, and he was in probably 50% of my lineups, but I had Daniels in like 40% of my lineups,
I did get a lot of the Sasser. He did well enough. So I'm looking at the leader in this right now.
The Sasser thing was a little bit annoying to my other lineups, especially on FanDuel, because Killian Hayes was having a monster game, and Sasser I think had like 2.5 fantasy points at halftime. It was really bad, and then all of a sudden Sasser just got hot late third, and they just left him out there the rest of the time.
So again, I'm just trying to look and see what's causing these wins. So this Randall play, this got him. This is really all he needed on a slate like this. I mean, everybody had these other guys, and and the Randall at 6% is going to do it, and that's pretty much it. Everybody else. Nobody even else could crack 300 tonight.
Well, Christian Wood ended up being like 50% owned, So at any high buy-in, and it was logical,
Yep.
But that's what happens.
Well, let's see if anybody can catch him. So it's 302, right? All these guys are playing the Swarther. He has literally 0. Swarther 0. Swarther 0. Swarther 0. So this guy's got Jokic. Okay, so all right, here we go. So this guy can win. So he's got Jokic and a full half to do it. So he needs 32 points out of Jokic in a close game in the second half. All right. So that's something. So if we look at this lineup, he had the Royce O'Neal at 10%. That obviously helped. And he had the Sasser. Oh, Rudy Gobert at 2% smash. That's another one. So that's all you need is a couple. You know what I mean?
You smash for a version of it. Like people say this all the time with these giant slates that they think you need 1 million points. The truth is, it's more dangerous. It's easier to get 380 points on a 2-game slate than it is on some 14-game slates. Because you end up too spread out by nature. That's why stacking makes a lot of sense. It doesn't always work. But you know what I mean? Like, look at the scores on these big slates we've had so far versus the scores on the smaller slates. They're astronomically different, the winning scores. Always for the smaller slates. There's too many good plays, and we get locked into the idea of certain good plays. And I think that my job, or I would say our job, but my job is to try to figure out, where I think that's going a little bit wrong. I didn't do the best I could have tonight. It still might be a profitable night, but I agree with the process, you know what I mean, of what you're thinking, trying to think a certain way. Like I had no interest in, and he didn't have a good game. The kid from Charlotte, the rookie, partly because they got blown out, but I had no interest when he was going to be 30% owned based on early projections, because that's where the value looked like it was going. When he ends up looking like he's going to be sub 10%, then I have a ton of interest, because there is a difference.
Which guy are you talking about?
Brendan Miller.
Okay.
He didn't have a great game or anything, but it was the right thing to do to play him when he was going to be 5% owned, when he was originally going to be the highest owned player. Like we first did our show, because his projections still stayed really good, but it just became, he was the 20th best projected player on the slate versus the 3rd or 2nd.
So here's another lineup that can contend. This might be a favorite. I don't know. This guy's 40 points off.
Oh, I called the Michael Porter Jr. It's another one I didn't pull the trigger on. God damn me.
And he's got Porter and Gordon, both Gordon with a good first half and Porter with a good first half. And this lineup had another guy who I just didn't feel like I didn't get to, and he had a really good game, the Jordan Clarkson at sub 10%.
Another one that I had played a little bit, but the one that I'm really the most annoyed by was both Michael Porter Jr. and Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes is the big one. I said it earlier, Sheets. What did he put up tonight?
He put up a lot.
I mean, and every game this year, he hasn't had less than 44 in a game this year. He's 8,900. He's projecting for 40. Where are these projections coming from? You know what I mean? Those are things you can find flaws in, but on a 14-game slate, it's really hard to angle that into being a great play at 8,900. He basically has to do what he did tonight as a median for that to be a good play.
I think Cam Thomas got hurt.
He got hurt. That hurt.
And Malcolm Brogdon got hurt, by the way.
That was a I don't know what they're doing. They already got Robert Williams hurt. The whole point of getting these guys is show what they can do. They did that. Trade them. Okay.
Right.
They're not trying to build with them. And they had real value. Now that they're both hurt, you just lost out on 3 first-round picks, at least.
So with respect to this Mega 8 special, it looks as though there are 2 favorites here. The 302 that's in the lead, I don't think is the favorite because, again, one guy's got Jokic and needs he needs 30 to catch him. All right, so that's a sweat. But
I had these same lineups ish. 2v2. All I needed was my Hachimura, who I had ended up with 30% of.
And it's between that and the Tenacious Jones, who is 40 points off as well. And he's got another half with both Gordon and Porter. So
Hero got hurt too, apparently.
What's that?
Apparently Tyler Hero got hurt.
Oh, Tyler Hero got hurt as well. Let's take a look at the FanDuel, the jumbo, which I'm going to go 0 for 5 in cashing in that one. It looks like the winners here. Wow, somebody came up with Kobe White at.
I have Kobe White in one of mine.
Yeah, he was 1%. Just trying to see any differences. Oh, Dorian Finney-Smith was 1% over here. This lineup actually is favored to win with Giannis scoring 41 fantasy points.
Yeah. To be honest, you know me, I build sometimes we didn't have a day yesterday, so I built some lineups the night before, and they mostly ended up in my $4 and my $15 buy-in, whatever. They weren't huge winners, but they would have won some single entries, and it's because you play the things sometimes. Sometimes the first thoughts you have are the right thoughts, and today none of the other things that happened, like Christian Wood being the biggest one. It turned into being the opposite of a thing. If you just literally, today was the day if you just slept.
Right. Right.
You would have been all right, you know?
Yep. This guy has Jeremy Grant still going. He has 29 at the half. He's having a good game. Bam with another good game. He had 50 fantasy points on FanDuel. The Kelly Olynyk thing was like annoying, you know. I don't know. It just didn't do anything.
I think it's so interesting how perception plays into things because you can sort of see it by what Vegas does with their lines. And I was looking at it with the Lakers in Houston earlier, and it looked like, okay, they expect the Lakers to rest somebody. The Lakers are, over the last 5 years, the worst team against the spread. Last year, literally 5 games worse against the spread than any other team. Horrible against the spread because popular bets, you know? The Lakers in Houston tonight, after Davis is out, is the surest bet for Houston like ever at this moment of the season. It's such a sure bet. And it's like, that's what sometimes I wish that I had the access just to make a handy one. Cause I don't want to like text a friend, get all this stuff figured out. You know what I mean? I'm trying to work on my DFS lineups, but like, that was such a sure bet. Sorry.
To answer your question, Scotty Barnes, 59 FanDuel points.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. He was a very healthy 1.1%. He was 9,500 though on FanDuel.
He's 89 on DraftKings, and I was still saying, like, the guy's averaging. He's the third highest averaging scorer today, coming into the day, behind Jokic and Embiid. And he's going to be 0% owned in the best possible matchup.
This is actually pretty amazing. So I want to read his stat line on FanDuel: 14 rebounds, 4 steals, 7 assists, 4 buckets, 2 blocks, 6 free throws, and a grand total of 0 turnovers.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
There you have it. That's it.
I'll take Sean Marion 2.0.
Something like that.
Right? That's what he is. He's Sean Marion with better handles and a little bit more of a guard. He's a little less than Kawhi. He's somewhere between Sean Marion and Kawhi Leonard.
Jordan Hawkins went off at 78% owned.
He just couldn't make a shot.
Excuse me. LaMelo Ball went off at 73%.
Yeah, but LaMelo paid it off.
and they all came, dude, I had them all, and they all came out with 4.5 minutes to go together.
Yeah. I don't think anyone can be really upset. James is saying that it's frustrating to see 50 from Grayson Allen on FanDuel. I don't think anyone actually played Grayson Allen. It's not frustrating. He made 8 of his first 9 threes. That's going to be a good spot. You know, you're probably going to put up a big number. It's really hard to do that. It's really hard to even have the opportunity to do that. And part of the reason he got those 9 was because he made his first 5, you know? So sometimes things happen, but nobody, the guy who wins the $9 might have Grayson Allen, you know what I mean? Weirdly. But that's not like a play you worry about making or not making, right, Sheets?
Yep. I'm not worried about not having Grayson Allen on FanDuel, especially.
If I would have played Grayson Allen today, you would have had to punch me in the face. Even if I won with it, I just feel like it's so stupid. Like there's no logic behind it, any of it. And there was one guy I did play like that today. That was Max Struss.
Cade Cunningham, we talked about a little bit earlier. He had a nice game. And that's what you needed.
Well, Giannis got thrown out, though, of that game. That was a big...
Oh, is that what happened? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What happened?
Early third, Giannis would have ended up with 65 or 70, probably. I honestly
what happened,
I was watching too many other games.
Okay.
And that was like one I was happy. I mean, I hate to say it, but at the moment I was happy to see it because it meant that I didn't have to worry about Giannis.
Couple of announcements, sort of, and then I want to do my my PGA thing. So tomorrow is a very small NBA slate. I think it's either 2 games or 3 games.
The 2 game, I'm out for the morning.
That's fine, but what I was going to say is that I'm doing a recording with Jordan from SaberSim tomorrow during the slate, because I want to have him walk me through some of these new features that scrape the lobbies to see how you're doing. In other words, like what the new update does is it takes the existing scores of the players and then readjusts who you're supposed to play or whatever. And apparently there's ways to actually see what your projected ROIs are. There's like stuff like in the new update that I honestly don't have the patience to figure out all on my own. And he promised me that he kind of walk me through it tomorrow. So I'm going to be doing that at some point during that slate, because it's not a big slate. You know what I mean? So I'm doing that. I don't know if I'm going to do that live, but worst case, I'll record it and I'll report my findings, to the community and see which feature is worth looking into, which is probably superfluous, and which is whatever. I'm doing that. The other thing is that I am going to do the MMA breakdown tomorrow for the DFS slate. I'm going to be actually going to the MMA card on Saturday, Bobby, at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, really looking forward to that. Even though DraftKings didn't pay for didn't.
Dude, F that, man.
It's okay. I mean, listen. I spoke to the guy. It's actually like the most requested thing of like the entire DraftKings community. Like these MMA suites, these MMA cards. Everybody wants to go, and they already sent me to one. Pretty recently. In May, they sent me to the one in New Jersey. So it's fine. It's fine. And then the guy said, "Listen, there's people that haven't gone yet, and we have to make everybody happy." I'm like, I get it. I totally get it. Nonetheless, I'm going anyway. That'll be fun. Yeah, that'll be fun. The other thing is that I'm gonna be. I mentioned this to you. I don't know if anybody watches the show, but two pretty sharp guys run this podcast, LOLs, with Pete Overzet and Brian Hooper. Brian Hooper is just a freaking like super wizard. And they've had like all like the most famous like DFS people on, like talking about their successes, and they also had guys that talk about content. They had the SaberSim guy on there, whatever. And I'm going to go on not this Thursday, but the following Thursday. I don't know exactly what I'm going to, what they're going to want me to talk about, whatever, but I'm definitely going to get in like my thoughts on content in general.
I love it.
Yeah, that's what I'm definitely going to make sure.
I would say plug us, but you will. I would.
Oh, definitely going to do that. No,
I was going to say I would never ask you to do that. But
no, definitely going to do that. With respect to that the way we do things, kind of represents the way I want to do things. Just actually teaching people how to play. And maybe get their advice on how to make shows like this a little bit better, like just these live sweat things. Because I know that there's a better way to do it. I know there's a better way to handle the staking thing to make that more dynamic and entertaining.
I think we know part of the answer, and I'm in for if there's something to commit to. It's not as much fun if I do it on my own. You're really good at it. If there's a time we can semi-commit to every once a month or something, that would probably be a good start. And then maybe we go once a week if we decide to. On my birthday, by the way, is the first $1 million tournament. I won a couple tickets, I think.
When is this?
I've got 2 tickets to it. It's $1 million first place NBA tournament on November 29th.
Is that? Oh, I thought that's not the Bobby slate. The Bobby slate's the day before Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, but it's still my birthday though, so maybe I can win the $1 million on my birthday. That'd be nice.
So we already know when that is. It's November 29th.
Yeah, I've got 2 tickets. Yeah.
Now here's a dumb question. How many entries do they allow in it?
I honestly haven't looked yet.
I ask only because I'm just curious, like how many entries we're gonna have to be fighting off of these freaking other players.
No, but I'm good. I'm good with that though. Like
I know. I hear you, but I'm just curious.
I'm okay, like going, whatever 10-1 with someone else's lineups. Like I'm not going to win most of the time, but I'm going to win some. And that's how I play.
Right. let's see if anybody made headway here. So Fire Dog. No, it wasn't him. It was Jim Bob. Wait, who's the who got out of here? Inverted cheese. Oh, he's at the yoke. They didn't start the second half yet.
Jokic got it at halftime, 631.
He's got 31. He's
boards and assists wise. For the
he'll get his
double. Well, he won't get the triple. He
has no assists.
That's insanity. That means no, but that means Golden State is like, that's kind of impressive. Like, it's an early season message from how they're going to play him. I'm guessing the game is close.
Yeah, 53-47.
Yeah, that's a message from Golden State. Steph said he wanted to play every game this year. He's the best bet for MVP, in my opinion. He said that already. He leads the league in scoring, as usual. He's shooting. Do you know what he's shooting from the floor? He's shooting 60% from the floor, 50% from three.
Oh, my God.
And he's missed one free throw, so he's 98%.
That's pretty amazing.
And he does it like every year. And he's, by the way, highest volume too. Longest shots, most difficult contested. All the advanced numbers would say a bad shot, but it's not because it's him, you know?
Right. How'd the bets do today?
I didn't make any bets because we can talk about that somewhere else. But I've been talking to our friend Steve all night and all day.
Okay.
Because it was very frustrating when it just shut down.
Oh, really? The app went down?
The numbers, all the data went down.
Oh shit!
It's being fixed.
Oh man, that sucks.
I was just like, come on, guys.
Oh my God! Thank God I wasn't around for that. But the stuff that did you put stuff up on the site?
No, because I said it's exclusive to Better Takes. I said on live what I thought made sense. I said, look, I made the mistake of one game because I thought I bet Indy the night before and to cover 8.5 against the Spurs. And I bet the under because usually if you're betting for a blowout, the under is a better bet. But Indy scored like 150 points and they won by like 35, you know? So I don't know. I've been doing well. I haven't had the worst night I've had so far is 3-2. I just didn't play tonight. And what was the other one I had tonight? I liked what was the game I really liked? It was I'm going to tell you the truth, whether the number hits or not. I loved the under in Denver, Sacramento. I love the over in Dallas. That was what I had in my notes on. I ended up making any bets.
Tomorrow's now I'm gonna do we'll do this, then we'll do then I'm gonna do my PGA stuff. Tomorrow's showdown slate, you have a 37-point total. Chicago, Carolina, and we're actually don't even know who's quarterbacking for Chicago.
Yeah, we do. It's gonna be Bajent. They announced it.
They sort of announced it. So if you watch the press conference, I don't know what type of edible the guy is.
What are you talking to Tommy G or something? This is like a conspiracy theory.
No, did you listen to the press conference?
No, I was joking, but like no, I didn't.
No, the coach he said we're gonna list him as doubtful. He's doing much better though. His grip is going well. But we're going to list him as doubtful. And they pushed him on. They're like, well, what does that mean? Is he going to play? He's like, no, he's not going to play. And then they said, well, if he's not going to play, why don't you list him as out? He says, well, we're going to give him a chance. We're going to see. Still a day. We're a little chance to go. So I say 50-50, but we're going to list him as doubtful. And they're like, I don't understand. What does that mean? He's like, it means he's doing much better, but he's doubtful. That means he might play, might not, but he's just doubtful. Guy's a freaking idiot.
Bullshit.
Guy's an idiot. I mean, like, I just rule him out for Christ's sake, or whatever, or don't. Or
yeah, no early look stuff for the showdown, just late stuff, because all we care about. That's really weird, man.
Watch it. Watch the press conference. The guy's lost his mind.
Dude, I think they're in on Beijing. That's the truth. I don't think they know how to be, but they're in on him.
He's not bad.
I'm kind of in on him, by the way.
Yeah, he's not bad.
But I do think that Justin Fields, no matter what happens or what people think right now, I think if he was the quarterback of the Eagles 2 years ago instead of, this fucking nonsense, I think that he would be a good quarterback. You know what I mean? I think if he was quarterbacking the Chiefs under Andy Reid, he'd be a good quarterback. He has so much talent. It just would be a shame to give up on that at like 24. Like, you know what I mean?
You have sort of you do have sort of some sort of DJ Moore revenge against Carolina, even though the game's in Chicago. That could be interesting. And then you have this guy who actually has a projection for Carolina. This is like showdown life. This Emir Smith Marset.
Yeah.
Who got traded. He was on the Chiefs, I think. And so they're pulling him right in with like a 2-point projection at 200. Whole bunch of 200 guys that are going to be messed around with. Tommy Tremble was gotten some looks. They actually ran some routes specifically for him when people thought that they were going to give the ball to Thielen last week. I was watching that a little bit. So it's a 36-point total, which is ugliness, but there'll definitely be some fun plays. We have a guy with a 9-point projection who's 400, the Terrence Marshall Jr. Early projections have him at 30% owned. So we'll take a look at that more tomorrow, but it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a cool slate. I don't know, and I'm gonna definitely get in there. So I'm gonna do my thing here. I'm gonna go over the PGA stuff, and then
there is a tournament. Okay.
Oh yeah, I've been all over the. Yeah,
let's build a lineup. Tell me what to do, Sheets.
Yeah. So the it's a course that tends to have it does you don't really need distance, so you're gonna get like kind of a popular Brandon Todd this week, and he's one of the the highest priced guys. I don't have him rated that high, and I have him at 21% owned, so he's not gonna be in my big buy-in and stuff. Like you're not getting anybody that's like super duper popular. You have Adam Scott, who's like the name, also. He's like 10-7. And even he's only like 20% owned. The highest owned guy is like Alex Smalley and Taylor Pendrith, and they're like 22.
Do you know off the top of your head how many par fives there are?
No.
Okay.
I don't. So I'm going to build a SaberSim thing, but as far as like my big buy-in, oh my God, check this out. It doesn't see, it's not showing my sheet because it only has, hang on a minute. Oh, because I didn't do the whole screen. Hold on. Okay, so let me.
And where is this taking place, Sheets?
This is Bermuda. This is in Bermuda. So the top guys that I have are Alex Smalley, Lucas Glover. Pendrith, as I mentioned, is going to be high owned. Ben Griffin will be 20% high owned. Then I have a whole bunch of these guys that are like 10% owned down here. The cheapo that's going to make it into my big buy-in is going to be Matty Schmidt. He looks good in my sheets, and also Rick really likes him a lot. And he's only 12%, so that's kind of good enough for me. And I'm going to probably play both of these guys, the Smalley and the Glover, and fade both the Adam Scott and the Brendan Todd and the Taylor Pendrith. So I'm probably going to play these something in this maybe one of the 7K guys, Martin Laird, Troy Merritt, something like that, and maybe Davis Riley. That's the big buy-in. So what I want to do for the people.
Do you have any Bhatia?
I don't. I mean, I didn't do my I was gonna wait. I was gonna do my MME stuff now to see what I would get there.
I would advise getting a little bit. I'm just looking in a little bit.
I'll get them. I'll probably get some.
Also, if the Woos are playing, they've got to be in play, in my opinion.
Yeah, the guy that's supposed to be good is for this week is the Dylan Wu.
I think they're both going to be good. They're always good.
So let's put this up here and let's build this and see what we got.
And you have to put the general in.
You know what? I almost put him in my big buy-in actually. When I first
How did he end up 15th last week? I thought he was like right there.
What's that?
Last week he was like tied.
Really? He made some headway?
He was tied for third going into about one stroke off, like going on into the final round.
Dude, I was in second place in the lottery going into the final round last week.
Are you serious? I didn't even know there was golf going on last week.
Yeah.
We're on different planes right now.
Well, dude, not all of us can win every NBA slate that we play like you do.
Dude, it's not the NBA slates. Honestly, I'm just really upset about not having easy access to sports betting accounts.
Oh,
I think money line things. I think this is actually my.
Dude, you can get an account of Bet Online. I mean, that's totally fine.
No, but you know how hard it is to get like live game betting though too, and then parlays, and then everything is also from an offshore account, which makes it more complicated.
Dude, why don't you just log into my account? Oh no, sorry, I didn't mean that. Sorry, sorry about that. That was
Shut that.
No,
Kyle, turn off the TikTok camera.
Edit. No, I didn't mean that. No. Let's see. There's one hockey game left here. It was a 3-game slate. It's literally 0-0 in the second period. Totally uninspiring.
I'm gonna start like it when very soon. I'm gonna win that million, whether it's on my birthday or in NFL. I'm gonna win that million, and I'm gonna do a couple things, but one of them is going to be starting to mass enter like small buy-in stuff for your other sports, NHL, LOL, all that stuff.
Ooh, let's do this. Let's see what we got here. All right, so when I just run this stuff, it's the guys I mentioned. So Smalley, Glover, Brandon Wu, actually, Schmidt, Riley, Hubbard, Lipsky, Laird, but like none of the Adam Scott, none of the Brandon Todd or whatever it is. I will say this.
What is Bhatia projected to be owned? Let me see. I feel like that's a really good play.
17%.
That's too high.
I just got a couple lineups with him.
I'm gonna play him, but
yeah.
What about our boy Piercy and Kazire?
That's another one that I really thought about putting in the
Piercy and Kazire. Let's go.
The Piercy or the Kazire. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to enter these just like this. So it's going to be, as I promised, very little under on Adam Scott, under on Brandon Todd. I'm way under on the Bocce actually. And this Matty Schmidt guy is going to be the one that I need to do well of the cheapos. So I'm just gonna upload these into this one, and it's pretty much all I'm going to do. Let me save these to these two contests. You could put these in here actually. And then we should be good. I guess I don't have anything else. I'm gonna give one more check of the the lobbies there. Let's see.
Just one of those nights.
Yep. Let's see the Mega 8 special. Let's see if anybody's made any progress tracking this guy down. Oh, here comes inverted cheese. And here comes Jokic. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's a win.
He's 18 points away.
Win.
He now has 3 assists.
Win. What's the score?
It's 67-63.
Oh, God. That's a game stack win.
But then you have this guy. This is the Ramsey. He's got Clay and Gordon. And he's only behind by not much also. He's behind by 30 with those guys. So it's gonna be interesting.
I'm going to start doing this thing where I make a list of guys who are going to troll me, who I've played a ton of, that I know are going to have a big game the next week or the next day in basketball.
Dude.
But like Jordan Hawkins, Brandon Ingram, Kelly Olynyk, you know? Sorry.
What about the Strother? People really played this guy. I mean, like a full 8%. I don't think he's played. I don't know about that. He literally has 0.
Yeah. It's weird the way we played this slate, like that everybody did. But even the highest scores aren't that high. It's like it's also what's happening tonight. You know what I mean?
Dude, the way Jokic just fills up this freaking stat sheet like every night. It's like
but like there's no stat sheet filling. He's like the best. That's it.
Yep.
I don't think it really like I'm open for a discussion about like, you know, maybe Giannis at some point or somebody, maybe Steph, to be honest.
For what?
For being like the best player who gives your team a chance to win a title, like the number one player. I think Jokic is number one clearly.
Oh, he has to be, right?
Yeah, by like a long shot, but it's also there is recency bias, and like we should realize what Steph has accomplished.
Yeah.
And Steph is leading the league in scoring and as good as ever. And he's 2 years younger than LeBron. And everybody talks about how old LeBron is. Steph's 2 years younger. And he is
that is actually amazing.
Yeah. And he's obviously a smaller, it's not as easy for his size. LeBron, when you get older, you get bigger, period. LeBron is using that. That's what he uses now.
You know, I posted this on Twitter like the other day. Like, I couldn't believe that Tristan Thompson is only 32 years old.
That's so crazy to me. But that's what's crazy about Steph and LeBron, too. Like, if you think about it, Steph is a better player last year and the year before than LeBron. And he's a better player now than LeBron. Like, when is exactly – I just am saying, like, if you're going to be the greatest ever, you know, I don't know. I have a lot of issues with Steph being underrated and LeBron being overrated in the grand scheme of basketball. It seems like, yeah, Straw played.
Did he play?
5 minutes, got a couple fouls, Eric Froelich says.
That was the end of the day, huh? Yep. All right, guys. I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to fly. So tomorrow you'll hear from me an MMA video during the course of the day at some point. I'm not going to do a slate preview for the 2-game NBA. I'll do probably a hockey one. And we will
we'll be live, right?
And we will be live tomorrow. Yes, we will do that. And again, we'll do I might do a early showdown thing, but we'll definitely do showdown tomorrow. What time is the first game tomorrow? NBA, is it 7 or 7:30? Let's see.
I believe it's usually 7:30 on the Tuesday.
I'm around. No, it's actually 7. I'm around, and I'm like by myself tomorrow. So I'm around. So like once I come home and I do some stuff, I'll be there. I'll be there by 6 to do both NBA. I'll do NHL. I'll hang out to do showdown. I'm basically available tomorrow. So we will deal with that.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow.